We may have seen some college football history over the weekend. There was a 2023 quarterback that committed to a program for a reported record-breaking amount of money. No, it wasn't Arch Manning committing to Texas. It was Miami Hurricanes commit Jaden Rashada, who reportedly signed with the Hurricanes for an estimated $9.5 million. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. Jaden Rashada is viewed as one of the top quarterback recruits of the 2023 class. He's a 4-star recruit and finds himself near the top of a lot of quarterback rankings. Rashada announced his commitment on CBS Sports HQ. He chose Miami over LSU, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Florida. Rashada is a 6'4", 185-pound quarterback out of Pittsburgh, California. With his current rating, he's the second highest ranked quarterback recruit in Miami Hurricanes history, behind Kyle Wright, who is the number 3 overall player back in the class of 2003. Rashada is actually the second quarterback this week to commit to the Hurricanes. Last Monday, Emory Williams, a 3-star quarterback from Milton, committed to Miami following his official visit. Both Rashada and Williams are among the 20 Elite 11 finalists that are slated to compete in the annual quarterback showcase in Los Angeles. This past season as a junior, Rashada went 146 of 256 passing for 2,200 yards and 27 passing touchdowns with only 5 interceptions. He also added 200 yards on the ground with a rushing touchdown. Shortly after he committed to the Hurricanes, there were rumors that started to swirl about just how much money he was reportedly getting to play for the program. This time around, the report wasn't coming from sliced bread. Michael Caspino is an NIL lawyer that represents Jaden Rashada. He has built a reputation as one of the top NIL lawyers out there, representing many top football and basketball prospects. He came out and said that Rashada took a considerably lesser NIL deal by picking the Hurricanes. He said that Jaden actually left millions on the table, saying that he didn't pick a team based on the highest offer. He chose Miami because he loved the coaches and the opportunity he had there. Now, this is when the story really starts to get a little interesting. According to On3, Rashada agreed to an NIL deal with Miami mega booster John Ruiz for $9.5 million. The same source said that Rashada turned down an offer from Florida's Gator Collective for an estimated $11 million. Well, the Gator Collective took to social media following the report, saying that that was not true. The recent comments by California lawyer Michael Caspino have been brought to our attention. Gator Collective has never had any communications with Mr. Caspino about Jaden Rashada or any recruits. Rather, Gator Collective has refused to engage in any dialogue with Mr. Caspino on numerous occasions, as Gator Collective does not approve of his tactics and has no interest in engaging in activities which violate Florida law and NCAA interim policy and may put athletes' eligibility at risk. John Ruiz also took to Twitter saying that these reports were false. The report by On3.com is inaccurate as it relates to Jaden Rashada. I have never spoken to Mr. Caspino about Jaden Rashada. Mr. Caspino and I spoke about an unrelated player months ago and had a very professional and pleasant conversation. I respect him. Now, at this point, this is just a bunch of high school gossip of he said, they said, and nobody actually knows the truth. Out of all this, someone is actually being honest and someone isn't. It's just a matter of which side you want to take. If we've learned anything over this NIL process over the last few months, it's that nobody really seems comfortable admitting they paid a recruit, even though it's all legal now. We've seen it with coaches, we've seen it with boosters, we've seen it with a bunch of people, but for some reason, nobody wants to actually admit that they bought a recruit, which, like I said, is hard to believe considering this is all legal. The NCAA has made it known that NIL cannot be used to induce recruits. Enforcement Director Jeff Duncan reminded members in a recent letter that the NCAA is working tirelessly to develop information and investigate potential violations. However, in the On3 report, they independently reviewed a standard NIL contract from Caspino to confirm the language in the deal seemingly would make it compliant with existing bylaws. Even the NCAA's guidance that was aimed at limiting the impact of collectives and boosters that facilitate NIL deals for athletes. This story gets even better as Caspino didn't hold back when talking about Florida's collective, and he pretty much put them on blast even though they had no involvement with Jaden Rashada. Again, no alleged involvement with Jaden Rashada. Florida is the most dysfunctional collective in all of college football. I plan on steering my clients away from them. From my standpoint, I never ever want to deal with them again. If it weren't for the collective that's completely dysfunctional at Florida, he probably would have gone there. Caspino went on to say that he's hoping for Billy Napier to better organize Florida's recruiting efforts because he wants to see him succeed in Gainesville. Now, the thing that has me the most confused with this entire situation is the fact that Florida was one of the final few teams in the sweepstakes to land Rashada. Now, I know we hate to admit it, but we can assume that every team that was in his final list was offering a substantial amount of money. That's just today's day and age in college football. So, are you telling me that the Gator Collective, the people that handle these big NIL deals, had no communications in regards to Jaden Rashada, a team that, like I mentioned, was in his final list of few teams? Now, that's the part of the story I don't believe. Now, if they truly had no involvement in regards to this entire process, why would Caspino come out with this very public statement where he put them on blast? I don't think he would ruin his reputation by lying about the entire thing. He said they were awful to deal with, he said it publicly, but yet the Gator Collective says they never worked with them at all. So again, one of these sides is not telling the truth. As we've seen recently, this whole NIL process seems to be one big pride thing. Nobody wants to admit that they paid anybody or they were involved with the entire process. Again, the fact that this is all legal now just has me pretty confused. I mean, if you're shelling out this kind of money, I don't know why you wouldn't want that known by everyone. I mean, let the entire country know that you're willing to spend as much as it takes to land the top talent out there. At least that's what I would personally do if I was paying millions out of my pocket to land some of these top recruits. So at the end of the day, I don't think we're ever going to know the true amount that Jaden Rashada received. There are a lot of rumors that may be true, and there's a lot of rumors that just might not be true, but this is something we'll just never know about. Personally, I think the report of him taking less money to go to Miami over Florida is true. I do think there was a whole problem with this whole Gator Collective, and that Caspino was actually right about that. I also think that that number is right in the ballpark of what he might have gotten. It might not have been $9.5 million, but as we've seen in recent months, the top players in the country are getting offers very similar to this. This is just the beginning of NIL in college football, and I think we're going to see these reported numbers increasing as the years go by. This video was actually uploading when Jaden Rashada took to Twitter to address the rumors that were flying around in regards to him accepting $9.5 million. Any report regarding my commitment to the University of Miami is false, unless I was interviewed directly. All reports of my decision involving an NIL deal is inaccurate. I would never make a life/career choice for any monetary value. As I stated in my commitment live on TV, I chose Miami because of the relationship I have with the coaches, players, and the direction the program is headed. I wish not to address the false reports again, as this is a time I wish to celebrate my college commitment and my commitment to my current team and teammates as we look forward to our dream of winning a state championship. At this time, I request no interviews. Now, when reading the statement, he doesn't necessarily deny the $9.5 million rumor. He just says that his decision to go to Miami was based on the relationship he had with coaches and with players, which is something that was already covered in this video. So, what are your thoughts on this entire Jaden Rashada rumor? Do you think that it took this much money to get him to commit to Miami? And do you think that these boosters should be more open about them spending money, or should they continue to pretend like they have absolutely no idea what's going on? Whatever your thoughts are on the entire situation in regards to Miami and NIL as a whole in college football, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you love college football, then this is definitely the place for you. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that really confusing YouTube algorithm, and it helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.